Everybody is talking about the action in Dhurandhar, the revenge, the explosions, the shipping yard climax, the massive firefights, but I think people are giving the action too much of a credit. Wait, because if action alone made a movie successful, dozens of action films are released every year and they would become blockbusters. Instead, what makes Dhurandhar the revenge work is not just the action but the storytelling. More specifically, the transformation of one man, that is Jaskirat, who slowly loses himself and becomes, we all know, the famous Hamza Ali Mazari. And every major action sequence in the movie exists to push the transformation further. So the action, the real story is not even revenge. Most people think that the movie is about revenge, but revenge is only a trigger. The actual story is about identity. Look at the opening. Jaskirat returns home. He discovers that his family has been destroyed. His father is dead. His sister has been kidnapped. In a lesser film, this would simply be motivation for action, but Aditya Dhar uses this tragedy to create a character who is emotionally broken before he even becomes a spy. So this is important because the audience isn't following a superhero. They are following a damaged man. And the characters are always more interesting when they are invincible ones. The most important scene in the entire film isn't the explosion, it's Gurbaz confronting Hamza. Remember, Gurbaz is not just another character, he is the last living connection to Jaskirat's old life. So that's very important. When the drunk Gurbaz threatens to expose Hamza's identity, the scene becomes much more bigger than the fight scenes and the actions. It's actually a choice that Jaskirat now has, that he can either save his friendship or protect his mission, and we know what he chooses. So that is the exact moment where Jaskirat dies emotionally, and this is why the scene lands. And it's not about who wins the fight, it's about what hero loses. Great screenwriting always attaches a cost to the victory, and this movie does that brilliantly. Coming to something that is not discussed as much but is very important when it comes to this movie, the character of Yelena. On paper, she looks like a supporting character, harmless, but structurally, she serves a much bigger purpose. She constantly reminds us that Hamza is still human. When she discovers his true identity and decides to stay silent for the sake of her son, the movie suddenly gains emotional complexity. Now Hamza isn't just fighting enemies, he's fighting the consequences of his own lies. The best spy stories are never about gadgets, they are about relationships. And Yelena's present forces Hamza to confront the fact that he can never have both duty and happiness. So now about the climax. Most viewers remember the spectacular action scene during the major Iqbal sequence, right? But from a writing perspective, something more important is happening in this movie. At the beginning of the story, Jaskirat is driven by rage. Everything is personal and everything is emotional. Everything is a revenge. But by the time he faces Iqbal, he no longer wants revenge and avenge his family. He's become a man willing to sacrifice everything, including his own identity, for a larger mission. That's character growth. The explosion are exciting, but the characters, those are evolving, is what makes the climax satisfying, as per me. And that's why I think people misunderstand Dhurandhar the Revenge a lot. They think it's a spy thriller, an action film, or a revenge saga, but underneath all of it is actually a tragedy. A story about a man who succeeds in his mission but loses almost everything in the process. And just look at the ending, man. After everything that he has achieved, Jaskirat returns home. So that's a storytelling ending. Like that's the real reason audiences connected with Durandar the Revenge. It is because of that ending. The action made the film spectacular, no doubt, but the character arc made it memorable. Just look at the ending. After everything he has achieved in life, Jaskirat returns home and watches his old life from a distance. That's not action ending. That's a storytelling emotional ending, and that's the real reason audience connected so well with Durandar the Revenge, because the action made the film spectacular, but the characters, their arc, it made it memorable. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the analysis, don't forget to subscribe and also watch this video. You might just like it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.